Hello students, welcome to my channel. In this video, we will start with the chapter 13 limits and derivatives. Okay, so what is limit? So before that, we will see what is calculus because this chapter is introduction of calculus. Okay, so this chapter is introduction of calculus. Now what is calculus? So calculus is branch of mathematics. Calculus is branch of mathematics which deals with study of change of function value. Okay, with change in the values in domain. So calculus is nothing but branch of mathematics which deals with study of change of functions value with change in the values in the domain. Now let us see what is limit. So limit or limits. So we'll define limit first. So definition of limit. If fx tends to L, so this arrow means nothing but tends to, as x tends to L. Okay, so if fx tends to A as x tends to if fx tends to L as x tends to A, then we say that L is limit of fx as x tends to A. And we denote it by limit as x tends to A of fx is equal to L. Okay, so this is the notation. So what is limit? If fx tends to L as x tends to A, then we say that this quantity L is limit of fx as x tends to A. Okay, if we look at the number line here, if this is A and we have another number line, TL number line, and here we have L. So as x tends to A means x approaches to A, and if we look at the function values fx, and if the function values tends to L, so we say that this value L is limit of fx as x tends to A. Okay, we'll look at one example. So example, hx is equal to x square minus 4 divided by x minus 2, where x is not equal to 2. Okay, here what we have to do is to find limit as x tends to 2 of hx. So now to find the limit, first we have to look at the function. Function is hx equal to x square minus 4 divided by x minus 2. where x is not equal to 2. If we look at the table of h and hx, so what we have to do here is just substitute various values of x in this function and get the values of hx. We have to find the limit as x tends to 2. So means if you look at the number line, if 2 is here, then you have to look at all the values which are approaching to 2. So we can take values as 1.9, then 1.99, then 1.999. These are on the left hand side of 2, whereas we can look at the values which are on the right hand side of 2, that is 2.001, then 2.01 and 2.1. Okay, if we look at the hx values, then I have already calculated them, so I'll write it directly here. So hx values means if you substitute 1.9 in this function, the value that you get, that is the value of function h at point 1.9. So we get 3.71 for 1.9, then we get 3.99 for 1.99, then we get 3.999 for this value, and here we get 4.001, then 4.01 here and 4.1 here. So you can see that you are getting the table of hx. Okay, uh, if you look at this x values, then you can see that x values are approaching to 2 from the left hand side. So this is the left hand side, so you can see that x values are approaching to 2, whereas on the right hand side, then the values of x are approaching to 2 from the right hand side also. Now we have to calculate the limit. So for that, what we have to look at is the function again, hx is equal to x square minus 4 and divided by x minus 2. The problem here is you have of the factor x minus 2, and when x approaches to 2, what you have is 2 minus 2, which is 0. Okay, so here we have to simplify the numerator. Let's see what we get. X square minus 4 can be written as x square minus 2 square and then divided by x minus 2. So this is equal to, now a square minus b square will be a minus b, a plus b, and then that is divided by x minus 2. So x minus 2 and x minus 2 will get cancelled. You will get x plus 2. Okay, so you see that you are getting the function as x plus 2 here. Now we can calculate the limit. So limit as x tends to 2 of hx. So it is nothing but limit h tends to 2 of x plus 2, because now the function has been changed to x plus 2. So you can see that from here we have limit x tends to 2 x plus 2. Now right now we cannot write something here because we don't know how to calculate limit yet. But if you look at the table here, the function values are approaching to 4 from the left hand side. You can see this 3.71, 3.99, 3.99, and from the right hand side the function value is approaching to again 4, right? So limit is 4 from the table. Okay, so you can calculate the limit in this way. right? Okay, now we will move further. Now we have to look at left hand limit and right hand limit. Alright, left hand limit and right hand limit. So left hand limit is given as this: limit as x tends to a minus of fx. Okay, this is how we denote left hand limit. So what it is basically, if you look at the number line, the domain related number line, so here it is a, which is a real number. So the x approaches to a from the left hand side only. Okay, and then we have to look at the function values corresponding to these x, right? So this is the function fx. Okay, so the limit x tends to a minus fx. So here we are only looking at values of x which are approaching to a from the left hand side. So the limit that you will calculate is nothing but the left hand limit. Now similarly, if we look at the right hand limit, then it is denoted as limit x tends to a plus of fx. Okay, so that is the values of x. Now we have to see which are on the right hand side of a. So x are approaching a from the right hand side. So we denote it as limit x tends to a plus fx. So this limit is called as the right hand limit. Now suppose left hand limit is equal to the right hand limit, then we say that the limit exists. Okay, then we say that the limit exists and is equal to the original limit that we have defined. Okay, that is limit x tends to a fx. Okay, so that is, we can say that limit x tends to a minus fx is equal to limit x tends to a plus fx, and then that is equal to limit x tends to a fx. Okay, so if the left hand limit and the right hand limit are equal, then we say that the limit exists and it is equal to the limit x tends to a fx. And if, what if limit that is left hand and the right hand limit are not equal? So if they are not equal, then we say that the limit doesn't exist. Okay, now we will look at one example which is related to left hand limit and right hand limit. So if we have a function fx equal to 1 when x is less than or equal to 0, and 2 when x is greater than 0. So here we have to calculate the left hand limit and right hand limit. Now we will look at the graph of this function. So if here it is 0 comma 1 and here it is 0 comma 2. So when x is less than or equal to 0, we have the value of the function as 1. So that is a shaded circle, and then we have this constant function 1. Okay, and when x is greater than 0 we have a hollow circle, because when we are looking at x which are greater than 0, so 0 is not included, and then the constant function 2. This is the x-axis, so here we have the domain real line, and this is the codomain real line. So when x approaches to 0, here we have 0 from the left hand side, so limit x tends to 0 minus of fx. Now this is nothing but limit x tends to 0 minus. Now what is the definition of this function fx when x is less than or equal to 0? Since we are looking at left hand limit, so all the values which are on the left of this point 0, so the function value we have to take here is 1, and so here limit of 1, there is no x to substitute, or by the way, here we have the constant function. Okay, so whenever you have the constant function, the limit of that function is 1 only. This you have to know. Now if we look at limit as x tends to 0 plus fx, so this is equal to nothing but limit x tends to 0 plus. Now we have to look at all the values on the right hand side of 0, right, which are approaching to 0. So that is nothing but the function value we have to take it as 2. So again you have a constant function, so that the limit of that function is 2, right? Now here left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit, right? Because left hand limit is 1, which is not equal to 2, which is the right hand limit. So we have therefore limit does not exist. Okay, so here was one example wherein we have seen what is left hand limit and right hand limit. Now let us move further and look at one more example. Okay, that is example 3, as we have seen two examples previously. So example 3, here we have to find, these are not just examples that I am just doing, uh, but these are some of the important examples, okay, which will help you to solve the problems. So here we have to find fx equal to 1 by x square, where x is not equal to 0, and as x tends to 0. So what we have to do is x and fx table we have to first look at. So x, fx, and fx is 1 by x square. So now suppose if we take x equal to 1, you can see that f of 1 is 1 by 1 square, which is 1. If we look at 0.1, now what we have to do is we have to take x which are very close to 0. Okay, so here I am taking now x 0.1. So what we will get? We will get f of 0.1 is equal to 1 by 0.1 the whole square. Now that will be equal to 1 by 0.01, right? 0.1 square is 0.01. So 1 by 0.01 will be nothing but 100, right? So here we have 100. Now suppose we take 0.01. a value which is more closer than 0.1 to 0. So here we will get 10,000. Okay. So now suppose we take similar values, and then in general if you write 10 raised to minus n, right? Because these are all the powers of 10 and negative powers of 10 from here, 0.1, 0.0. So like that, if we keep on going and approaching to 0 in this way, that is 10 raised to minus n if we take. So f of 10 raised to minus n, this will be equal to 1 by 10 raised to minus n the whole square. So that is 1 by 10 raised to minus 2n, which is nothing but 10 raised to 2n. So we will get 10 raised to 2n, right? So you can see that as x approaches to 0 here, what you find is the values of x, values of fx, they keep on increasing. That means as x approaches to 0, the function will go towards infinity. Okay. So here we can say that limit as x tends to 0 plus, because we are approaching to 0 from the right hand side, okay, of fx. This is what? This is infinity. Okay, fx is 1 by x square. So you can see that the limit is infinity. Which limit? Right hand limit. But what about the left hand limit? So here you don't have left hand limit. Why? Because x is greater than 0 here. Oh, I have written x not equal to 0. So here I have to write x greater than 0. So you can see that the left hand limit will not exist as x are greater than 0, right? So we have to write here, since x is greater than 0, we don't have x less than or equal to 0. So left hand limit or we can say, so there is no left hand limit. There is no left hand limit. Okay. So we can say that limit x tends to 0 plus fx is the limit that we have to calculate. Okay, that is limit x tends to 0 of fx, and that is nothing but infinity. Okay, so this was one example that we had to look at here, and then we'll go to the next one. So that is example number 4. So here fx is equal to x square plus x, and to find limit as x tends to 2 of fx. Okay, so here we have to do similar things. So just okay, at x equal to 1 we can we'll calculate the limit. So we have to make the table x fx and fx is nothing but x square plus x. So I'll write the table here. We have to take values which are very close to 1. So 0.99, then 0.999, then we have 1.001, then 1.01. Okay, and we can calculate the function values. I have already calculated. I'll write it here: 1.9701, 1.997, 2.003, and 2.03. Okay, so we have to calculate limit as x approaches to 1. So here you can see that x values are approaching to 1 from the left hand side, these two values, and also x is approaching to 1 from the right hand side, these two values. So what do you see here? You see that the function values are approaching to 2 from the left hand side. If you look at 1.9701, 1.997, so from the left hand side function value is approaching to 2, also from the right hand side. So because you have 2.03, 2.003 and so on, and so the fx values are approaching to 2 from the left hand side. So here we can say that the left hand limit x tends to 1 minus of fx is equal to the right hand limit, that is limit x tends to 1 plus fx. Okay, and that is nothing but equal to the main limit x tends to 1 fx. Why? Because left hand and the right hand limit are equal. Okay, so the limit exists and it is equal to the main limit x tends to 1 fx. Okay, so this for example number 4 here. Now we'll look at algebra of limits. Okay, so algebra of limits. So let fx and gx be two functions defined on the same domain. Defined on same domain and or such that limit of fx as x tends to a is any real number, and limit x tends to a of gx exist. So both the limits exist here. Okay, then we have the following properties. So first one is limit x tends to a fx plus gx. So if here you are looking at the limit of two functions which I added, okay, then we have the limit of the first function plus we have the limit of the second function. Okay, so here we can say that limit of sum of two functions is equal to sum of limits of two functions. Okay, now second, limit as x tends to a of fx minus gx, that will be nothing but limit x tends to a fx minus limit x tends to a gx. So it is similar to the first property. As the addition property, you have the subtraction property in limits Now third, so limit x tends to fx multiplied by gx. Okay, now you have the product of two functions fx gx, so this will be limit x tends to a fx multiplied by limit x tends to a gx. Okay, now fourth property, limit x tends to a fx divided by gx. Okay, so this will be nothing but limit x tends to a fx and then divided by limit x tends to a gx. And here we should have the denominator not equal to 0. Okay, so where the limit x tends to a gx is not equal to 0. Alright, so these are the four properties, and then we have one more property. So okay, yeah, so limit x tends to a k times fx. Now here the k is a constant here. The property says that the constant will come out of the limit. So k times limit x tends to a fx. So where k is a constant. Okay. So these are the 5 properties that you have to know. Now let us go to something called as limits of polynomial functions and rational functions. Okay, limits of polynomials and rational functions. So let fx be equal to which is equal to a naught plus a1x plus a2x square and so on up to a and xn be a polynomial where this a naught, a1, an are all constant real numbers. Okay, a real number constant, and n is a natural number. Okay, or even you can have whole number here, because n can be 0 also, so whole number. And so and this an should not be equal to 0, that is also there. Okay, this last coefficient here an should not be equal to 0. Suppose we have to look at the limit as x tends to a here, okay, of the function fx. So you can see that this polynomial function is made up of n plus 1 terms. Okay, a naught, then a1x, a2x square, a and x raised to n. Okay, so limit as x tends to a of the first term, that is a naught, this will be equal to limit as x tends to a naught times 1. We can write it in this way. So you have a function which is a constant function and also another constant function. So what happens is the constant which is here, that comes out, right? So a naught limit x tends to a of 1. This is by property 5 of algebra of limits, right? Now a naught we have, and then limit of a constant is the constant itself, that is 1. So this will be equal to a naught, right? Now we will look at the limit of the second term. So limit as x tends to a1x. Now you can see that a1 is a constant, so that will come out, and then limit x tends to a of x. Now this will be equal to a1. Now one thing you have to know is, if you have a single variable in this way as we have here x, so you can directly substitute the real number a in that function. Okay, this you have to know. So you will have a, so what you will get is a1a. Now similarly, if we calculate limit as x tends to a2x square, that is the third term, so we will have a2 limit as x tends to a of x square, so that is a2 times a square, which is nothing but a2a square. So similarly, if we calculate, right, the limit of the last term, limit as x tends to a n x raised to n, we will have a n a raised to n. Okay, now we can calculate the limit of the polynomial function fx. So limit of x tends to a fx will be nothing but limit as x tends to a of fx is a naught plus a1x, then plus a2x square, and plus an x raised to n. So this will be equal to nothing but limit as x tends to a naught plus limit x tends to a1x plus limit x tends to a2x square, and so on, plus limit x tends to an x raised to n. Okay, and we have already calculated these n plus 1 limits. So first one was a naught, then the second limit was a1a, then we had a2a square, and so on, and then we had an a raised to n. Okay, now what is this? What is this polynomial? It is nothing but f of a. Okay, so just substitute a in fx here, right? So you will have a naught plus a1a plus a2a square, and so on, plus an a raised to n. This polynomial, which I just now uh, read here, okay, that is f of a. So limit as x tends to a of f of x is f of a, right? Now we will go to the limit of rational functions. Okay, so consider a rational function. Consider a rational function, and that is fx equal to hx uh, divided by gx. Okay, hx divided by gx. So suppose, yeah, and I have to tell what is a rational function. Here hx and gx are both polynomials. Okay, and gx is not equal to 0 for all x. Okay, now suppose uh, limit x tends to a hx and limit x tends to a gx both exist, and and so yeah, and limit extends to a gx, okay, is not equal to 0. Okay, now that is, we can say limit extends to a hx is equal to ha, and limit extends to a gx is equal to ga, and this is not equal to 0. Okay, so here we can say then limit extends to a of fx will be nothing but a limit extends to a hx, and limit extends to a gx. Okay, so which is nothing but ha, right? Limit of hx is ha, and divided by limit of gx is ga, and because ga is not equal to 0, this limit exists. Okay, this limit exists. Now what if limit of gx is equal to 0? Okay, so suppose limit extends to a of gx, right, is equal to 0, then limit extends to a fx that we are finding, that is equal to limit extends to a of hx, and then we have limit extends to a gx. Okay, now what you have to do here is we have to write hx in terms of two functions. Okay, so we have to write limit of x tends to a hx as limit extends to a of x minus a raised to l multiplied by h1x. Okay, now why this we have to do, or how you can see that we have to write hx as x minus a raised to l h1x. So if you have hx as this function x minus 2 raised to 4 and x minus 1 raised to 3, so you can see that, and suppose we have to find the limit as x tends to 2. Okay, so we can write hx as x minus 2 raised to 4 and times h1x, where h1x is what? It is x minus 1 the whole cube. Okay, so here you can see that this uh, h1 of 2, if we look at, first of all we have separated this x minus 2 the whole raised to 4 x minus 1 raised to 3 in two factors. One is the factor containing x minus 2, and the rest we have written it as another function h1x. Okay, now here you can see that this h1x at 2, that is h1 of 2, is what? 2 minus 1 raised to 3, and so that is 1 raised to 3, that is 1, which is not equal to 0. Okay, so whenever we will separate the function hx in two factors, okay, in which one factor is containing the number 2 at which we have to find the limit, okay, and the other one is not containing the number 2, so the factor or the function which is not containing the number 2 will be not equal to 0, right? So as in this we have h1x is not equal to 0, and then similarly we have to do the same thing for the denominator. So limit x tends to a x minus a raised to m, some other power we can get. Okay, and then we have the function g1x, also g1x, sorry, not g1x, we have to look at the value of the function at the point. So h1a, here also I had written that, and here also, so g1a, so both are not equal to 0. Okay, now this we can write it as limit x tends to a, because these are just splitting of limits, we can take that back again to single limit, and we can write x minus a raised to l minus n, and then we have h1x g1x. Okay, now after this we have to look at two cases. So case 1, suppose l is greater than m, these are two real numbers. Okay, and if, or for that matter, whole numbers, right? So if l is greater than m here, so what happens, that we have to look at. So we will have limit x tends to a of fx, and that will be equal to limit x tends to a of x minus a raised to l minus m multiplied by limit x tends to a h1x g1x. Okay, so here what will happen, so this limit we have to now see. So for that we will look at the same example that we have taken. So x minus 2 if it is there, and we have l minus m as 4 minus 3. Okay, so here what we will have is x minus 2 raised to 1, right? And then if we look at the limit x tends to 2 of x minus 2, now this will exist because just we have to substitute here 2 minus 2 we will get. Okay, we have to substitute x equal to 2 when we look at the limit, so 2 minus 2 is 0, so this exists. Okay, so similarly here also in general the limit will exist, so this will imply limit x tends to a of fx that we are calculating, so this will be exist, and of course it will be 0. Okay, because here similar thing, if you do a minus a you will get, that is 0 raised to l minus n, so we will get 0 times this limit will be what, yes, we have to substitute a in place of x, so we will get h1a g1a. Now you can observe here h1a we have divided by g1a, and we know that g1a is not equal to 0, right? So this will be a well-defined quantity, so 0 times a well-defined quantity is 0. Okay, so limit as x tends to a fx will be 0. So that is about the case 1. Now if we look at the case 2, case 2 will be l is less than n. Okay, and then we have to again look at limit x tends to a of fx, that is nothing but limit x tends to a of x minus a raised to l minus n times limit x tends to a fx divided by sorry, not fx, hx divided by gx. Oh, sorry, h1x divided by g1x. Okay, here we have that, or here. Okay, right now suppose we look at this limit now we have to calculate. So for that again we have to look at the same example, x minus 2 as the factor, and then if we take 3 minus 4 here, okay, L is less than m. So what we will have here, x minus 2 raised to minus 1, right? And suppose we calculate the limit at x tends to 2 of x minus 2 raised to minus 1, we will have 2 minus 2 raised to minus 1, and so that is 0 raised to minus 1, so which is 1 by 0, and that is not defined, or we can write infinity. Okay, so this will be not defined, and then multiplied by, now this limit you know it is h1a divided by g1a. Now this is a well defined quantity. Why? Because g1a is not equal to 0. Okay, so this becomes a well defined quantity. Now infinity multiplied by well defined quantity is infinity. Okay, or not defined. So limit x tends to a of fx in the case 2 is not defined. So if L is greater than m, right, we have limit as 0. If L is less than m, we have limit as infinity. Okay, so this much you have to know uh, for solving uh, the problems. Not only this much, I will say you have more that you have to know in this first part of the chapter. Okay, this is the half, we can say, that I have completed of chapter 13, limits and derivatives. Okay, but that's it in this video. Okay, we'll meet in the next video. Bye.